Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wayne Gaming. It's me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Light My Way. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up and let's go. Alright. He's somehow lifting my mood from the dreadful state it was in since waking up in this bleary office again. I don't understand why the Panther isn't giving up on the notion of me being part of the TSG. She was fine with me leaving her office yesterday without so much as a fuss, even though this Astor folk assured her I am no threat to anyone. Maybe they're right and she's upset because I disobeyed her. That would explain why Kieran always looks away when she talks to him. What a control freak. He shouldn't have tried to run away. There was no reason for him to do that. If anything, this is the safest place for him right now. Either way, we're at square one with his aspects. Nothing changed when you let him absorb your aspect, Astor, and your feel-good, cheery hugs didn't do much either, James. Was that necessary, Cat? Did she out the zebra just like that? If that's true, then what a shitty remark to make, and the timing of it. You should punch her in her stupid snout so I could throw the ice pack at her stupid face. I thought yesterday was indicative of the fact that the zebra was in no way to be messed with. It looks like the typical atmosphere must revolve around the Panther being the alpha bitch around here. I'm sorry, James. That's unacceptable behavior. I apologize. The zebra and the eagle share a knowing look, their brief smiles hinting at some unspoken camaraderie of times long past gone. It's a glimpse into the dynamic that likely defines this trio's interactions. It's alright. You're under a lot of stress, seeing how you missed this one particular fox on the entrance exam. How did nobody notice when he first came in? He should have stood out like a bear in a litter of lizards. You're both seeing his aspects. Saying that out loud, aspects plural, is making my head spin. We'll figure it out. That's why we're here. Set up some advanced classes for us in the meantime so we can do something aside from poking at Lucian every day. I can't help but feel a dumb joke coming up. But I know better than that. Considering the zebra's possible preferences, it might be wise to hold my tongue, or the Panther might slash it away. It'd be too inappropriate anyway, and I would be embarrassed to even attempt to say it. It's like I wish I were Fabian for a second. He'd crack that joke in less than a second. Your friends are outside waiting for you, Mr. Volpez. What do you mean? Your roommate and an elite student. Mr. Flytros and Mr. Genera, I believe. They both came here to report you as missing since you took off in the middle of the night, and they thought you might have been kidnapped. I was. By you mean, bitch? Why haven't you sent them away? We already have our paws full as it is. Darius Flytros, as in Flytros Railways? You said a roommate and elite. Who doesn't have the pen? Flytros. I offered his parents the option, but in reality he's not even good enough for our entry-level courses. When his test came back, I took it upon myself to look up what his results were, and that's not even close to him getting him in, let alone study at the elite level. His father wanted him here, though, so now we're building our 7th arch. The revelation hits me like a thunderbolt, my eyes widening in shock. How could I not realize it? His name is plastered everywhere on the continent, on trains, ticket machines, even on my student transport card. So you know. Tea is done. The name Flytros, a constant in our daily lives, so ubiquitous yet easily overlooked. All the wealth and influence that comes with that name. It's clearer now. He didn't get accepted to Tyrannon. He paid his way in. Or at least his father did. Wonder if Darius knows that. His previous outburst in the dorms makes so much more sense now. He can't keep up with his peers or the curriculum. Perhaps talking about such sensitive topics with Lucian here might not be the best course of action. I think we're far past sensitive topics. Here to remind you that we have a literal 1,000 reasons to worry about right now. The lion getting in on his daddy's money isn't scratching the surface of the shitstorm we're in. Hearing her curse surprises me. What a sudden deviation from her usual composure. She's freaking out about my aspects. Maybe I would too if I knew what I should be freaking out about. One or more aspects, what's the difference? I've always been like this, aspects or not. We need to focus on the current situation. Let's meet these two friends of his. That way we have all the involved parties in here. Precisely. She looks straight at me with one bored breath presents herself like the others did before her. I'm Catherine Refulgence, headmistress of Tyrannon University. I teach advanced anatomy, and I'm also the head doctor of the university. My favorite color is blue, and if you waste more of my time, you will live to regret it, Mr. Volpez. She gets right to it. Her style of being is so frustrating. How can the others tolerate such pompous behavior? The Panther look at her office. The Panther calls up Kieran and tells him to let my friends in. The door opens and the wolf looks at me for a second, spotting my oversized swollen snout. I think he wanted to say something, his face filled with concern, but his eyes meet the floor, making way for Darius and Fabian to come in. What has happened to you, Lucian? Yo! Yo, who did this? Their genuine care for me tugs at my shaky feelings. Before I get to say anything, though, the eagle catches Darius's attention. The lion turns to him, changing his stance and smoothing out his robes. Aster Avrum! You're the Cardinal of Biscor University. I am Darius Flightrose, and a big fan of yours. I read your book on the psychology of students. Wonderful work. Thank you. How come you didn't apply for Biscor University, then? My father wanted me to come here, although I begged him to know when to let me go to Biscor. Aster looks at Catherine, giving her a puzzled look, as if questioning what they talked about a few minutes ago. The panther shrugs at the eagle, unaware of what Darius mentioned about Biscor. Well, you're under good wings here. I am going to stay a while as a visiting professor for advanced cardinal literature and advanced psychology. That is incredible news! Fabi and I share a look of disdain toward the lion. Despite witnessing my swollen snout and my sudden disappearance from the dorm, he seems to have lost sight of the gravity of the situation, mesmerized by his idol's presence. I remind myself not to hold it against him too much. Encounters with one's heroes are rare, after all. Second now, water time. Yet he's gushing over this Astor guy a little too much. And by the subtle way the eagle is stepping away from the lion, it seems it bothered him a little too. If you're done sucking up to the eagle, D, I think Foxy here has an explanation to give. The zebra's laughter booms in response to Fabian's comment as he leans in closer with an appreciative nod. Straight to the issue, I see. Darius clears his throat while looking around somewhat embarrassed, then gets closer to me, placing his paw on my shoulder. I'm no longer sure if he cares about the situation anymore or if he's trying to impress this Astor guy. He was smitten with him. How did this happen, Lucian? I woke up and some of your things were gone. You were not answering your phone, although I tried calling multiple times. I decided to come here and report you as missing. He was worried about you. Aww. So were you silly rabbit. I can see your hectic aspect looking at me with a crazed smile, and although as scary as it is, it's also somewhat sweet if I could call it that. Damn scary, though. I notice the teacher is visibly shaken by Fabian's aspect as well. They're looking at it with both curiosity and apprehension. Fabian comes over, leaning down and grabbing my paw into his. While I did expect him to care, I didn't think he'd go so far as to hold my paw. He's much more perceptive than I thought he was. It's like he knows I need that. This whole thing feels like an exaggerated drama scene from the telenovelas my mom watches sometimes. All that's left is for everyone to start crying together at the same time. Which I start doing. I haven't been able to control myself since this craziness started. Darius is giving me so much calmness and focus, while Fabian is putting angry thoughts of revenge in me towards whoever did my snout wrong. They're both so intense, like I'm absorbing them. Oh, God. Something's wrong. Something's terribly wrong. Two unique foxes are trying to force themselves out of the pack of aspects that have been surrounding me. Each one is trying to rip itself away from me, and the physical pain they're both inflicting is unbearable. Oh, my fur, please stop! It's like that one time. One is out. It's heading towards Darius. The lion looks at me, then grips my shoulder tighter. His claws come out, they sink in, but he retracts them once he feels they touch my skin. The other aspect has already escaped as well. The pain I got from Darius's claws might have helped me lose focus of it. Fabian's on the ground, kneeling, screaming in horrid pain. He turns to me as if he's asking for help, but the chair I'm standing on seems to have petrified me in place. I look around the room, pleading for help with my red, watery eyes. Both Fabian and Darius's aspects are each mixing with the escaped foxes. Either the three teachers are too stunned to do anything, or they can't do anything. I hear Fabian and Darius screaming their lungs out, their aspects twisting, and looking like distorted shapes of what used to be a solemn lion. We used to be a solemn lion and a crazed rabbit. It's all dark now. So dark. It's fine. There's too much light now anyway. A different light from the ceiling above. This isn't Miss Refulgence's office. Don't get up. What's going on? You kind of gave each of your friends a fox aspect. What? My paws go to my temples, pushing them in, trying to stop the throbbing headache that's blowing up my head. Was I knocked out again? I remember my friends coming in and then... My fur, are they all right? They're not dead, if that's what you mean by being all right. You're making things complicated, Mr. Volpez. As if that's my actual goal here. Can she ever hear herself? Stupid eye test has been the trigger for all this, and I have no idea what's been going on since. It's like another world swallowed me whole and I can't get out anymore. Fitting that everything's yet again related to my eyes. Why are these folk looking at me like this? I didn't do any of this on purpose. How could I? I barely know what an aspect is, let alone how it works or why it works. Fuck this. Fuck everything. Is that Fabian next to me? Oh no, what did I do? Where's Darius? He's fine. Well, at least not as bad as the rabbit here. Darius is better equipped to deal with whatever it is you did. Which shouldn't be that surprising. He's fit enough to manage. How about mentally? Well, he was already a mess. Whatever I did to my friends, I'm sure it couldn't have been anything good. What about Fabian? Mr. Gennaro needs more attention from our medical staff. I will personally oversee his recovery. Although I'm not fond of her looking over my friend. She is the head doctor here at Tiranon. That should account for a lot. She couldn't have gotten here through nepotism, although she did get bribed to take Darius in. But I have to believe that she knows what she's doing. Fabian will be fine, I'm sure. If not, we can always just eat him. Fuck! I didn't think that. I didn't say that. My eyes move left, then right. It seems they're all over the place. Where did that voice come from? Are you alright, Lucian? You seem startled. I'm not sure. This entire thing is messing with my head. Where's Darius? Is he doing okay? You've already asked that. I'll have to check you for a concussion. Mr. Flatrose is in the private sector here. His father expects nothing less from Tiranon if anything were to happen to his son. For a little shock? A shock or wild invading fox aspects aside, his father requested this type of treatment for his son in case any medical occurrence. Why are we discussing this? It's not Mr. Flatrose's fault his father is rich and demanding these things. You're right. I had a chat with him earlier, and he's outside of his father's ring of influence from what I gathered. It sounds good, I think. Either way, I need to get to Darius to see if he's okay with my own eyes. This whole situation is a complete mess, so I could at least apologize to him for what I've done. Can I go see Darius? No, you stay upright. There we go. I feel... The Panther's look of exasperation cuts me dry. It's getting to the point where she's had more than enough of me. I might not be able to see her aspect to know that what she's going to say, but the intense stare and golden eyes tell its story by themselves. You feel fine. How unexpected, Mr. Volpez. You've put 2 students in the infirmary, one of which is in a coma, but you feel fine. Why is it you feel fine, but the other 2 needed immediate help, or perhaps face certain death? Do you have something you would like to share with us before you leave and wreak havoc on the entire university? The room is silent, the Panther's breath recovering from the waves of anger in her voice. It's true, though. Everything she's saying is true. I have to admit it. No matter how I look at it, I've been the sole reason for all this madness. I didn't mean to do any of this, okay? But you did do this. It's one thing for me to struggle to figure out what is happening to you. However, when you start affecting others, I have no choice but to have you contained until we know more about what you can or can't do. Is that? Enough! I am done with half measures. He is dangerous. I'm a fool for not having done this the moment I saw him. Until we know more, this is final. But what? If you were me right now, what would you do, Mr. Volpez? I would have done away with such a threat the moment I would have seen it. The fact that I got to do as much as I did given my recent aspect invasion. She's right, even if I hate to admit it, right now I'm a danger to anyone around me. Perhaps even to myself. I'm sorry. Kid, it's not your fault. James is trying to help me not blame myself as much, but it is my fault. I did all this even if I don't know exactly what it is I did. The Panther gives out a short sigh, almost undistinguishable from her fuming breath. Her eyes lock onto mine, and for a brief moment I see her aspect. She wants to show it to me. There's an elderly panther around her, smiling. I've seen her somewhere. She's like the eye of a storm. The calmness is there, but there's so much fear and anguish surrounding that calmness. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Tresem Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. You mean bye-bye.